Hello, Pomona. It's Gabby Starr and Bob Gaines, 6 feet apart on Marston Quad, here to deliver some exciting news. Fresh off the presses, 6 Pomona College professors have received the 2020 Wig Award Distinguished Professor Awards for excellence in teaching. The award is the highest honor bestowed on the Pomona faculty. It recognizes exceptional teaching, concern for students, and service to the college and community. Each year, a group of outstanding professors is elected by juniors and seniors and confirmed by a committee of trustees, faculty, and students. This year's winners are Aimee Bahng, Assistant Professor of Gender and Women's Studies; Tom Lee, Assistant Professor of Politics; Jane Liu, Associate Professor of Chemistry; Jorge Moreno, Assistant Professor of Physics and Astronomy; Gilda Ochoa, Professor of Chicana, Latina, Latino Studies; and Alexandra Papoutsaki, Assistant Professor of Computer Science. In anonymously written nomination comments, students offered praise to the 6 professors who go above and beyond in their teaching and mentorship, especially during the time of disruption and transition to online instruction due to the coronavirus pandemic. So, Bob.
I'd like to start off with Professor Aimee Bahng.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Assistant Professor of Gender and Women's Studies Aimee Bong joined Pomona in 2017 and focuses her research in areas that include queer and feminist science and technology studies, as well as transnational, Asian American, and Trans-Pacific studies. One student had to say, "Professor Bong is one of the most intellectually generous people I've ever met. Her courses are fascinating, facilitating excellent discussions that I feel have contributed to my growth as a person. Congratulations, Aimee."
Congratulations, Aimee. So let me tell you a little bit about Tom Lee. Assistant Professor of Politics Lee is a scholar of East Asia who joined Pomona in 2015. Among his areas of expertise are Japanese security policy, Japan-South Korea-US relations, war memory and reconciliation, and militarism cultures. One student says, "I met Professor Lee my sophomore year in an upper division international relations class. At first, I was intimidated by his candor and overwhelming expertise on the subject of East Asian politics. However, in the span of a few weeks, I realized how lucky I was to have the chance to take one of his classes." Congratulations, Tom.
It's a pleasure for me to congratulate our next winner, Professor Jane Liu. As a chemist and molecular biologist, Associate Professor of Chemistry Jane Liu is driven to understand at a molecular level how regulatory RNAs function. One student says, "Professor Liu is absolutely amazing as a professor, mentor, and friend to all of her students. As a professor, she is constantly supporting and encouraging, and she takes that extra step to check in with each and every student about the comprehension of the material. Congratulations, Jane."
And on to Professor Jorge Moreno. Assistant Professor of Physics and Astronomy, Jorge Moreno is a theoretical astrophysicist who studies and teaches galaxy evolution. Specifically, he uses high-performance supercomputing to simulate galaxy encounters and investigates the role of merging and shaping the structure of the interstellar medium in galaxies. A little story from a student to show how Jorge really changes people's life. "Professor Moreno has been the most supportive person in a position of power that I've ever met in my 4 years at Pomona. This is a person who devotes their time, attention, and energy to all students while constantly emphasizing the voices and realities of the most vulnerable students on campus." Congratulations, Jorge.
It's a treat for me to congratulate Professor Gilda Ochoa. Professor of Chicana, Chicano, Latina, Latino Studies, Gilda Ochoa is an expert on Latinos in education, inequalities, in schools, community partnerships, and in race-ethnic relations between Mexican Americans and Mexican immigrants. One student has to say, "Gilda Ochoa is a most deserving faculty member for this award because she's always available for students, regardless of their major or their background." Congratulations, Gilda.
And finally, Alexandra Papoutsaki. A first-time winner of the Wig Award, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, Alexandra Papoutsaki, and studies human-computer interaction. One of her very lucky students says, "Professor Papoutsaki teaches a difficult subject with amazing patience and humor. She handled every difficult situation incredibly well. I'm thankful I had her." We're all thankful we have her. We're thankful for every single one of these 6 extraordinary faculty and all of the faculty members at Pomona. But to the 6 Wig Award winners, we have to say, congratulations!
Congratulations!